right, so this is going to be the setup on our infrared smart heater. We have already got things started because real world things happen. So before you get too far into this, I want you to do yourself a favor and locate both legs of your brackets. You should have 2 of these in silver. They are the larger bolts. You should have 4 of the smaller ones right down here in your tracks. See right in here, they are movable. You've got the darker colored wing nuts that will go on those. The lighter color go with the larger silver ones. So to start this, bottom bracket, foot faces away from the center. Place it down over your screws, just like this. As long as they're not tight, they move. Grab your dark wing nuts. Hopefully you have better fingers than I do. Get those started. If you know anything about threading, you know it's not the easiest thing in the world. And then the same thing on the other one. Notice how they're still moving. I have not locked this bracket down yet. Still moving. If we tighten it, it stops moving easily. You then take this one right here with its nice little divots in it. You are going to turn its leg towards the other one. This is your pivot position right here. It enables you to tilt your heater and direct your heat flow. Find your large silver nut or bolt, slide it through. Find the silver nut that goes with it. Again, it is a wing nut. Get it started here. Now, everything is in place. This one is locked in very nicely, so it is not moving. This one I still have ready for adjusting, just in case, because the next step is our stand. When you open this box, please find your small bag of parts that you will need to assemble this. Be careful, you have a mounting bracket that will bite you if you are not careful. Ask me how I know. Pull your stand out. Remove its plastic sleeve. Now, I have been asked to make everybody very aware. This will slide, but our tension bracket right here will enable these parts to slide out from themselves until you have tightened it well, okay? You have to tighten it to where it clamps. Once this one is solidified in its position, you can do that with a standard pair of pliers. The gentleman filming this has taken care of that for me because he has a little bit more hand strength than I do. This one will finish the tightening process. However, right now, we are looking at your locking pin. This will hold it into position. Find the opposite hole, of course, and that stops its movement, okay? Your screws in this bag should be, notice how I put that, we all know how things work. We should have a total of 4 screws, 4 little nuts, and 4 little washers. When you go to mount your heater on the stand, I highly recommend doing it in a controlled environment. I have to, for those of y'all that have met me, you understand that statement. If you have not met me, that's probably okay. Now remember when I said do not lock that bracket in? This is why. We have to line it up here. I need to get something to brace this stand. Hang on just a second. Line everything up to the best of your ability. Drop your screws down into place. That way, if you need to realign, you can, just like I had to do. Real world problems, people, right here. There we go. Fourth and final one. You will then take a washer. It will go on the underneath side. Find the flat spot on your nut, and it is going to go towards the washer. And I'm just going to start it with my fingers to get it in position. Repeat that 3 more times. Notice I didn't even have to stick my head up underneath there. Washer, nut. And in case y'all don't know this, the gentleman who is filming this for me is probably much better suited at doing this a whole lot quicker than I am. However, he has been gracious enough, because we all only have 2 hands, to film this for me. So, that's the reason he got that stuff started for me. We will again take a little bit more of a close-up of it for you. Alright, remember I talked about real-world problems? I started my nut on an incorrect thread. Swap places, my thread is off. When in doubt, check your threads. Technical difficulty, we have a misthreaded screw. Part 2 will resume as soon as we replace the screw. We had something up inside of our little nut, so he had to take a pair of pliers and get it cleaned out real quick. Sweet. Thank you. All right, so now you're going to take a 532 Allen wrench. This is a standard non-metric. Hold your nut and tighten down. By the way, you can get these Allen wrench multi-tools just about anywhere these days. Check your threading in your screws first, because you never know if they're off just a little bit. This gentleman was sweet enough to measure ours beforehand, so we knew which ones to tell you. Some of them have a little extra play and don't get as good a bite. And most of us generally have all of those little Allen wrenches left over from all of our build-a-bookcase projects. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about, because you know you do. My multi-tool sprung. Little things just keep flopping out of it. Everything is nice and tight. Double check. And I believe we are ready for a test run. Open your stand. By unlocking it, obviously. Again, this man is handier than a pocket on a shirt. There we go. You got that in for me? Okay. I'm gonna lock us down. Going the wrong way. You can feel it start pressing in. Didn't mean to block everything. You gotta tighten it down, guys. Y'all didn't spend your money on this heater to not tighten that down. Adjust as you need to. He's putting our coupling back in there. Okay, so tripod, coupling sleeve, tightening bolt, all the way up. Notice how our heater is totally pointed down. Lift it up into your pseudo desired position. Tighten your wing nuts. Tighten, not loosen. Grab a pair of pliers if you need to. And a friend. Okay, so notice we have your brackets outside and inside because there is a divot on this top bracket on the interior, and it works with those nice little holes on the stand bracket to help lock your heater into its directional position. Okay, then when you are ready and you have everything else done, I'm trying very hard not to just pick this stand up as I do. Find your little locking pin. None of us seem to be able to just slide it right on in. And then it's in position. It will turn. And again, loosen your interior screws to alter your direction of your heat flow. Plug her in, read your manual, and you're good to go. Make certain you lock all of your knobs back into place.